Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very, very, very special guest. If you've watched any of our interviews in the past or any of my coverage of T.Y., Taylor Young, you know he is maybe my favorite player in the entire Dodger system. T.Y., how the hell are you, man?
I'm doing great. Actually, me and my wife are in Tulsa still, so
Okay, nice.
we're fighting through the cold here right now, but it all is good.
Christmas shopping, right?
That's right. Christmas shopping today. Went to Target. And then tomorrow we got some more shopping, so getting close to Santa Claus coming.
So what'd you get Dodgers Daily?
Nothing. I hate to be brutally honest.
60 stolen bases?
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so you're talking about your wife, who it's been just about 365 days since you guys got married down there at the Love Shack there in Monroe, Louisiana. Bubba and Aline got to come eat some gumbo and all that kind of stuff. Take us back through that process.
Yeah, so last October, so 2023, so it's been a little bit over a year now. And Bubba, Biddy, Nick Biddison, and Alex Freeland were actually able to make the wedding, so that was awesome. Got to get them down in Louisiana, show them what the culture is like, because, Bubba's from Philly, Nick's from Virginia, and then Freeland, he's from everywhere, but I'll just say Texas, because that's where he's at now. But yeah, it was a great time. Obviously, a lot of memories, and then obviously got married to my high school sweetheart, or actually middle school sweetheart. We started dating in 8th grade, so been through it all together, and she stuck by my side through this journey of baseball, and just couldn't really do anything without her. So it's been great.
You transitioned to third base last year. I know a lot of times in the Dodgers system, they like to create versatility, and sometimes it's by necessity because you have a million different good players. Like you mentioned, Alex Freeland was on the team for a while and that kind of deal. And so you have like a 981 fielding percentage at third base. You'd never really played a whole lot of third base. That would be considered the elite category for a major leaguer at third base. So talk about that transition.
Right. I actually had no expectations of playing third base, really. And then when the season kind of got, rolling along, I realized I was going to be playing there a lot because, like you said, we had Alex Freeland playing shortstop, and then when Noah Miller came up, who's another great shortstop, I knew that they were going to play shortstop. So I needed to, like you said, get some versatility in my game, and I think it's going to be great for me in the long run. Just being able to play multiple positions, not being just stuck on one, like, short or second, or I can play anywhere in the infield but first base. I guess I could play first, just not a very big target. I really enjoyed third base. It's a lot of reaction, not a lot of time to think. You really just catch the ball and throw it. So that was really it. But I actually really enjoyed it a lot. So looking forward to playing it more this year, and then we'll see where it goes.
So that first time, in high school, a lot of times you play even with a bag, sometimes maybe even in college. But in professional ball, heck, you play all the way out there in the back of the grass. So that first time that Henny backed you up to the back of the grass, did that look like it was like 9 miles over to first base?
Well, actually, 2 years ago when we were in high A, I actually was playing shortstop. Freeland was hurt for a little while, his ankle or something like that. And so I actually filled in for a couple of games playing short. And I actually took one where you're not supposed to take one, and I wasn't wearing any protection. And so I'm very fond of playing very far back. So that wasn't a big change to me. It actually gives you more time at third because everyone hits the ball so hard nowadays. Unless you have someone that's a speed threat and could bunt, then you're going to play even with the bag. But I'm not too fond of playing in front of that bag unless the game calls for it, bases loaded, infield in, or something like that. So I really enjoyed everything that came with playing third base. Just reaction based, like I said, and I really, really, really liked it.
Yeah. Your boy Bubba had his best year as a pro, too. That had to be fun watching him.
That made my year, to be quite honest. He's my best friend, and he knows that. And I'd do anything for that guy, and he'd do the same. And just to see him succeed, and just when all the cards were against him, I'll go ahead and say it because it's worth noting. He was on the deactivated list to start the season. He was the 4th outfielder, maybe going to get some rotation once a week. He's playing barely any, and then by the end of the year, he was a staple. If you ask me, he was our best offensive hitter besides, Dalton Rushing and Alex Freeland, who got called up. But if you look at, the full season in itself, Bubba and Lean didn't have a down month, a down week. Right. He exceeded every expectation that that was, put on him by other people, but he knew what he had and what he was about. And I mean, he just went out there and did it. So super proud of him, and I love that guy to death, and just excited for the future for him.
That AA transition is very difficult, and you got to spend all last year at AA Tulsa. And so the OPS and the batting average wasn't, I know how competitive you are. I'm sure it's not exactly where you want it to be. But when you look at the rest of your game, you led the Texas League in stolen bases again, right? And you were pretty close to, you're like 10th or 11th in walks, and then also on base percentage. So, I mean, there were great parts to what you did offensively, and there were probably parts to where you're taking the offseason you wanted to fix, right?
Right, correct. I'm super hard on myself, so not really much that I the only thing that I really liked this year that I really did well was I hit a lot of doubles. That was really it. I didn't really walk as much as I did in high. I struck out more, which obviously the higher you move up, the better pitching gets. So kudos to the pitchers. But that's the only time I'll give them any props. But no, it was just a big learning experience. Got to talk with Will Rhymes toward the end of the year, and Dylan Ashaka, the hitting coach that was there, and then also Scott Hennessy, who really like Henny. Great manager, great person, great human being. What he means to me, not only as a manager, but just as a person. He's very personable. You can talk to him about anything. It doesn't have to be baseball. And we actually had to sit down towards the end of the year and just talk about offensive progression and stuff like that on what I needed to do to be better, because in all honesty, I want to make the big leagues, and I think I can, and I just needed some guidance and where to go and what to improve on, and what my holes were, what my weaknesses were, what my strengths were. And so we just kind of took all that and threw it together and threw it up against the wall and see what would stick, and whatever didn't, we just kept going at it. So really like where I ended the season the past 2 weeks. And then just kind of building off that in the off season, went to Arizona early November with Rhymes and Dylan and Brett Peel, who's one of the hitting coordinators. Got in the lab for a week there in Arizona just to fine tune some stuff and see what they liked and see what I liked, and we just kind of bounced ideas off each other just to figure out what's going to be the best plan moving forward for me.
So last offseason, you made a couple of swing adjustments to try to do a little bit more damage. Did those swing adjustments take, or how'd that work for you?
They worked really well the first 2 months, and then scouting reports came out, and kind of got carved for a little while, and then picked it back up in the last 2 months of the season. But those middle stretches is where you got to make your money at. You got to be mentally strong, and a lot of the game is mental. Everybody in AA can do it physically. You just have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and that's what separates you from the people in the big leagues. They do it on an everyday basis, and that's something that I'm going to look forward to doing this year, and I'm really excited about this year coming up.
So you guys had a lot of injuries to deal with. I know Austin Beck got hot at the beginning of the year. He got hurt. And then you had promotions like Dalton Rushing and Robleski and Diego Cartaya and the typical AA stuff. So the season from a wins and loss perspective just really never got going for you guys. You have never experienced losing before, right? So how was that for TY?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time we spoke was last offseason, if I'm not mistaken. We did an interview, something like this, and I can't exactly remember what I said, but it's just a lot different than college. You have people from all over the world, trying to make it to the major leagues, which everybody on the team wants to do. And at some point there comes a time where you have to be selfish and you have to do what's best for you and your career. And that's with anything in life. You don't want to be on the back burner for everybody else and watch everybody else succeed. You want to succeed as well. So there's a fine line in minor league baseball of, being a team and all bought in and like a brotherhood, and then also being, be the best version of yourself that day for the team. And then that will get you wins. And like you said, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of moving parts, a lot of new faces. A lot of first years in AA's on our team. Also mixed with some guys with a lot of experience too. So that was really good. Brendan Davis, one of the guys, he really helped me a lot this year. And obviously he's played in the big leagues before, so that was awesome to get to bounce ideas off him for a whole year. And but going back to what you said, just trying to find that line of being selfish and not being too selfish, but doing what's best for the team, knowing when to, take your hit or get the guy over or whatever the situation calls for, just doing it to the best of your ability. And I don't think anybody's out there trying to lose games. And obviously Scott Hennessy has a, amazing track record. He hates losing more than anybody in there.
Yeah.
And he let us know that, and we let him know that too. So it wasn't anything in particular that I can put my finger on. It was just a grind.
Yeah.
And that's really it. It's just a grind, the ups and downs, the who's going to get called up, who's not going to get called up, just the whole game. It was a great learning experience. I don't think this coming up year will be the same. I think it'll be a lot different in the wins aspect. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. I love the term you use there, learning experience. Tell me what Taylor Young learned about himself last year. What do you know about yourself now that you didn't this time last year when we were talking?
I learned that I'm a lot mentally stronger than I thought I was. And I had two stretches actually through the year where I went on a really, really cold hitting streak. I'm not sure if you have the stats or not, but it was up there pretty high. I'm pretty sure it was like in the 30s, 0 for 30s, 1 for 30, something like that. And I did that twice in the year. So, and I vividly remember looking back at those times and just searching for answers and trying to figure out, a swing adjustment. The pitchers were pitching their best stuff to me. It felt like it was just in those 60 so at bats, it just felt like I didn't have a chance.
All the borderlines were strikes, that kind of thing.
Right. And looking back on that now, I just put too much stress on myself. That wasn't needed, too much pressure. I don't have to hit 500. I don't have to hit 300. I just have to be who I am and just be like you said, or like the dirtbag, the winner, just relentless and just, I don't have to do too much. And I think I was trying to be not someone else, but I was trying to do too much at the plate, trying to be too cute, too fine, where I just need to go out there and let it go and just play. And I feel like those stretches this year helped me realize that, okay, now if that comes up again, then we'll be prepared for it.
Yeah. Yeah. You like to reflect on things. Do you ever find yourselves trying to overanalyze things and just say, hey, dude, I got to chill the brain a little bit? You ever do that?
Actually, it's funny you say that because my wife is actually a super overanalyzer, overthinker, and I'm complete opposite.
Okay.
I am just a go with the flow type. I don't like a schedule. Like if I want to do something, let's just go do it. I don't like making reservations and stuff like that. So that you say that, it's funny because reflecting on that, I did overthink too much, and I did put too much thought into it. And maybe it wasn't the swing, maybe it was just my pitch selection. But I like the stuff we worked on towards the end of the year, and then obviously in Arizona with Rhymes and stuff like that. So I'm excited moving forward.
Absolutely. So the confidence you play with, that's swag. I love it. You are definitely that guy. So where'd that confidence come from?
I would say it came from when I was a young age, when I was like 3 years old. Obviously I don't have any memories of T-ball and, pitching machine and stuff like that. That would be really cool if the brain could work like that. We could remember everything. But I think it goes back to just being young and just being with my dad and him teaching me the game, teaching me the mental side. And because my family, they support me 100,000%. They're behind me the whole way. Mom, dad, step parents, in-laws, like my wife, brothers, sisters, they all do. So there's really should be no pressure at all, to be quite honest. I think that resilience, that stuff, it just comes from just the love I have from family and friends and stuff like that. So just super thankful for them. And I know if they believe in me, then I should believe in myself. Yeah. And I'm big in like quotes and stuff like that. And I actually have a book of, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's the 100 greatest quotes of all time. And it's from like Vince Lombardi's and people, Nick Saban and people like that, people who watch sports look up to those people and because of what they've done. And so just like getting inside of their head and how they thought, could help me as a player and a person as well.
So the baseball IQ, it's off the charts. I mean, like earlier this year, like Alex Freeland had second base stolen and you just backed out and you took a strike right down the middle. That's something like as a coach, it's hard to train somebody to do that in the middle of an event like that, you know, but you have all those IQ type situations down. And one thing about you two, same with Bubba Lee, I think this is probably why you became best friends. Nobody plays the game harder than you two. So where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm a brag on and crack on Bubba just a little bit, but obviously he plays the game super hard and just sometimes super.
Yeah, the wall's gonna win.
Yeah, that too, but I guess no consequences. He plays with when there is, you know, especially when you're running into a wall or you're getting in a rundown by accident, but not a good time to get in a rundown, and just basically running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And so I like to try to use my abilities and my thoughts at the right times, and I try to be kind of sneaky with it, I guess, at the same time, but just using my IQ and my abilities at the right time so I don't mess up anything for the team, if that makes sense. Yep. Trying to pick my spots.
How many times have you been told you're too small?
Every day.
Yeah.
So that
still motivates you?
And that's another thing that's motivated me too. Obviously had great 5 years at Louisiana Tech and then all the accolades with that, and unbelievable, and just very thankful for those opportunities. But then, you know, just the recruiting process and then the draft, it just all kind of came together, and just all I needed was a shot. So, and I got that shot, and I'm going to give it my all, and whatever comes with it comes with it. But I've always told the people that are closest to me, and I'll tell you now, I'm super thankful for everything that's happened to me and my family and who I've met along the way. And if it ended tomorrow, yes, I would be distraught. I wouldn't know what to do. I, you know, would have to figure out something, obviously, you know.
You'd open up an academy and probably make more money than you're making right now by about 10 times. That's what you do.
You know, a lot goes on in life and stuff like that, but I am super thankful for everything this career has brought me in, and I don't think it's stopping anytime soon, so we're not going to get into all that talk, but super thankful for everything that's happened.
So physically on the field, what parts of your game do you feel like grew the most this year?
I would say hitting. I would say just the hitting, and obviously, you know, we spoke about my numbers earlier. They weren't what I wanted them to be, what they need to be, you know, to get to the next level, obviously. But just learning how the body moves and how the body works and stuff like that. Dylan was a huge help to me this year, and really enjoyed my time with him. And he's a stud, and he knows that. He knows how I feel about him.
Dylan Nashaka, the hitting coach there at Tulsa.
Correct.
Yes,
correct. Dylan Nashaka. And so that was just, I think defensively it's there, base running is there. I just need to take the next step, whether that's, you know, getting on base more, higher average, you know, stealing more bases, whatever the case may be. I just need to get that much better.
Yeah.
And it's so minute. There's such a fine line, but we're teetering on that line, and hopefully the seesaw goes my way.
So your off season, you said you're in Tulsa. Tell us where you're at, your routine, and what your goals are. Yeah,
so actually like 6 minutes from the stadium, got a nice apartment, actually
Nice.
brand new. We moved in April, me and my wife did, right before the season started. We're actually like the 10th resident here, and now there's like 200. So it's really filled up, and it's 3 minutes from Tulsa's campus. So it's a cool little area, nice little city. Actually completely different than what we're accustomed to, but we really like it. She's got a job here. She's a nurse, so she's working at the hospital. So everything's coming together. Obviously life, you know, changes with minor league baseball. And like I said, she's going to follow me around and until it's over. And she's got no problem doing that. And so she's awesome. She's done it for me. So, as long as we can do it, we're going to do it. But yeah, routine, wake up about 8:30, get a cup of coffee, eat some breakfast, and then go work out around 11 to 1, somewhere in that little area, and then actually we have a nice gym down here, so I don't have to pay for a membership. But if needed, I could go to the field. I go to the field and hit underneath there in the cages we have, and then just do my work down there. And there's a gym there. If for some reason I can't get into this one, I can work out the field. And so yeah, just everything Tulsa.
Hey, you ready to answer some fun questions?
Let's do it.
Okay, first question is, have you ever been thrown out of a professional baseball game? And if so, I got to know why and what happened.
I've actually been thrown out of two.
Two, okay. Two.
So last year.
Did you get your money's worth?
Oh, yes. And ironically, the umpire's name, I won't say his name because it doesn't matter, but I like to know the umpires by names because it's just show of respect, sure. You know, and they respect that as well. And so anyway, that umpire actually was in AA this year, and he umpired us a lot. And so we actually got to become not close, but, you know, I would conversate with him. We got over that. He realized that he was in the wrong, or not in the wrong, but it was just a mutual conflict, obviously, which every person getting thrown out is. But I was arguing balls and strikes. I drew a line in the dirt. My fault. So I'm out. And this year,
that's so TY. Draw the line.
Yeah. That was after my third strikeout of the game. Oh, yeah. It was in the ninth inning. Oh, yeah. We're facing the closer. We're down by one. Second and third, 3-2 count. Fastball, 3 balls off. Strike 3 at 100. So you're
like, you can't hit that, dude. I mean, come on.
You can't hit if someone's throwing 90, much less 100. Yeah. So anyway, and then this year we're at Northwest, I believe. I'm pretty sure we're at Northwest, and this umpire had been really bad behind the plate the whole game. And I come in the dugout, and I know it's a ball, and I'm sitting on the rail, and Brendan Davis was hitting behind me, who, if no one knows him, he's 6'5". I'm 5'9", 5'8". And he gets the exact same pitch thrown to him, same location, everything, with a ball to him. And so the whole dugout loses it. And they're like, you know, one after another, same pitch, same spot. What are we looking at? Same pitch. Well, I wait till everything's died down.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I go, that's the same pitch. And he looks over, and he knows my voice, obviously, because I said some stuff to him after I struck out. And he looked over and he said, you're gone. So I took it on the chin, walked up in the clubhouse, and then we ended up winning the game. So that was good.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you go out on the field? Did you get your money's worth there? Or did you just leave?
I did go on the field, and Henny had to not hold me back, but he had to step in between us, which is all managers should do, and he knows exactly how he's supposed to handle it, and sure. He did. And actually, the umpire ended up telling him after I walked away, he told him, he said, hey, I know I missed it, but he's got to go. I told him to not say anything, and he did. So that was that. And it was really nothing crazy. I'm not big into getting thrown out.
Sure.
I think there is times where maybe a manager or a coach, there's appropriate times to kind of fire your team up and
sure.
And get them, you know, back in the fight mode.
Show them you have your back.
Correct. And Henny does a great job of that, and he let us know that the whole year. And then, but as a player, I think there's very, very few times where you should get thrown out in a game. And I think if you do get thrown out, it should be in a spot where you're not going to be needed in the rest
sure.
of the game. And now I did not think about that when I got thrown out. It just so happened to be in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
And then I think this year was like the sixth. So not a good time to get thrown out because your spot's going to come back up to hit. Not saying that the people on the bench can't do the job, but you're in this lineup for a reason.
Sure.
So I think there is a very fine line of a player to get thrown out, but yes, twice.
And then sometimes it's 100 degrees. It's been 100 degrees for a month. It's going to be 100 degrees for the next 2 months, and you got 100 days in a row where you're going to play, and you know all that crap, and you just, okay, to hell with it, man. I can't deal with this anymore, right?
And that's why the mental side, I feel like, is the biggest key. Yeah. Like I said earlier, everybody can physically do it, but you got to be able to do it right here.
Absolutely. Okay, man, you got up to 56 stolen bases. We've seen that in a season. The goal 60. Can you say it right here on Dodgers Daily? Is T.Y. going to hit 60 someday?
I think I'll hit 60 this year if everything works out. If everything works out offensively, I think I had 46 46 last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think 46, and I actually did get called out 5 times that I was safe. Went back and watched on video because obviously base stealing is
Oh, really?
correct. Was actually one of my biggest. It probably is my biggest attribute right now offensively, is just being able to steal bases. And so looking to add some more attributes to that this year, average, on base, everything that comes with it, slugging, OPS, just that fine line, just keep taking steps forward. And I think that's what we're going to do this offseason. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm excited. I'm excited for spring training and to get back in Arizona and get some good weather.
Would you have 2 walk-offs this year? Is that right?
Man, to be honest, we had a lot of walk-offs this year.
You did.
I feel like we did, and Damon Keith was a part of.
Yeah.
It feels like every one of them, which obviously he wasn't, because we had several. I know Rush had one. I know DK had 2 back-to-back off that same reliever.
Yeah, then that guy got called up to the major leagues like that next week.
And I will say he is disgusting, and he deserves it.
All right.
He throws 100 with a 90-mile-an-hour slider, so that'll work.
Perfect for Damon Keith's bat speed, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so not college, because I know you're the all-time hits leader at Louisiana Tech, so there's probably 80 of them that you could go to. Not professional ranks. So I got to know your amateur career. The most clutch, you're known for being clutch. You love the big moments, right? That's why I talked about the walk-offs. What's the most clutch hit that you can remember ever having as a kid?
Not college.
Not college.
Okay, I'll go back to high school. My junior year, we ended up actually losing the game, but it was a very clutch hit at the time. Yeah. And it was off of one of my really good buddies who's with the Marlins right now. He's a left-handed pitcher. His name's Cade Gibson, and I hope he watches this, and I hope he watches this far into it, because it was off of him. And
I'll put it on social media and tag him. Make sure he sees it.
Yeah, or I'll tag him in it and say, watch till the end. And anyway, so it's bases loaded, 1 out. Our best player was not me. It was someone else who got drafted in the 3rd round in 2017 to the Angels. He no longer plays anymore, but he got the flu that game, and so he couldn't play. Well, he comes out in the 6th inning. It's a 6th inning, and I was hitting 3rd actually in the lineup. He was supposed to hit 1st, another guy at 2nd, and me 3rd. Anyway, well, the guy that was up 2nd was a left-handed hitter, and he did not hit left-handed pitching very well. So they say. And so we bring in another left-handed hitter, who is this guy who got drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I can take this at bat. Like, I feel good enough, I can do it. So he comes out, obviously standing ovation, everybody's going crazy. He gets up and he swings at 3 curveballs in the dirt. So now it's bases loaded, 2 outs, and I forget to tell you, we're down by 2, 4-2. 6th inning, so it's bottom of the 6th, we're home team.
You nailed it up.
So I get up, and he throws first pitch, changeup ball, next pitch, fastball ball, 2-0 count. I sell out to a fastball. He throws it middle. I hit it left center off the bottom of the wall. Bases clearing double. We go up by a run.
Oh, wow.
5-4. And I actually I still have that video on my phone, and you can barely see me on second base, but I'm hitting my head so hard that my helmet falls off. I'm going crazy. Outer body experience. I'm sure something along the lines of what Freddie felt when he hit the grand slam in a World Series. That's what it felt like to me. And obviously, getting older now, I know that has no comparison to a World Series walk-off grand slam. But at the time, it felt like it. And so that's one of the memories that I can remember very well. And it was off a good friend named Cade Gibson. So I hope he watches this.
Nice. So when you're in the clubhouse and you have downtime, which you have a lot of in a minor league setting, what do you like to do with your time?
It's funny you ask, because I actually picked up a new hobby this year, and it's chess. And
the Maytag's got competition, huh? Telling you, TY's coming after the Maytag.
I said no chance against Jack Dreyer nor Ronan Kopp. And Ronan Kopp
Ronan plays chess.
Ronan is actually who taught me, and he has a little a portable chessboard. And it has all the pieces you need. And so we actually took that on every single road trip. And I tried to learn. I'm not very good, but I love learning new stuff. I love picking the brain and seeing what the brain's, powerful enough to do. And so I actually played chess a lot this year. So that was my biggest hobby, I would say.
So we know how competitive you are on the baseball field. Are you that way with everything else in your life? Like when you're shooting pool or playing ping pong, is it like competitive to where you can't even enjoy it? Are you that way with everything else?
Yes, and it annoys my family the most, and especially my wife and my mom. They get really aggravated with me because it doesn't matter if it's rock, paper, scissors, or if it's baseball. I'm trying to win, and I don't care who you are. And my closest friends know that too, so I wouldn't say that for like my baseball competitive people, it's annoying because they're the same way I am.
Sure.
But for my family, like my mom, my wife, my little brothers, they can't stand it because they can never beat me. And I hope they do see this and they never will beat me.
Yeah, you're the type that if you ever have lost anything, the first thing out of your mouth is, hey, you want to go best 2 out of 3, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
you find out who's really good when you play 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, this is the last thing we're going to do here. We're not going to give final thoughts. This is going to be the last thing on this interview. Can you recite the alphabet backwards?
I can. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
ZYXWVUT SRQPONM And I'll give props to my oldest brother because he taught me that. But he can't beat me in anything either.